Yeah.
So in your situation is different than just a breakup. That's you losing someone permanently. So do you like take any accountability in that, or you just say, listen, I'm gonna go through these motions and then I'm gonna find myself in this?
Yes, I went through the emotions. I worked on myself. I found out what I like, what I love about me.
Were you not able to do that while you were in that marriage?
Yeah, of course. No, I was, if I'm being honest.
Right.
When you're married, you are a unit.
It's what you guys like together.
Unit. Because it's always me and him. It's not just me.
Right.
So when he's gone, now it's just me.
Right.
And now someone has to fit themselves into who I am or who I'm becoming.
Okay.
And be willing to say, okay, I know she loves long baths. I know she loves the beach. And you know what I mean? Things like that. You have to take time for me. You do.
Because you now you become comfortable with
who I am. And I think I'm sexy and beautiful.
I love it.
You know, and so that. So whoever who comes into the mix has to compliment that, has to add to that.
I mean, I really compliment your way of dealing with that, because a lot of people, if you know somebody for that long, you don't even have to be a relationship. It could even be a friendship.
Yeah.
It's hard to recover from.
It is.
You know,
and it's an ongoing process for her.
Yeah, it is.
Can I ask you a question? Does your expectation change
Oh,
when you meet someone new from who the person you was with before?
I don't even put the two together.
Gotcha.
Right? Because
that.
when I met him, it was 16 years ago.
I like it.
It was something different. I was committed. I was loyal. I fulfilled my contract, right? So as someone said to me recently, it's a different chapter, right? So now I don't even compare the two.
Yes.
But I focus on me.
I love it.
And I think that's what, even in dating, I think you have to focus on yourself.
I'm actually the most important question I think anybody would ask in your situation is, do you feel any guilt when it comes to moving on?
No.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of people do, to be honest.
No, I've been fortunate to, well, first of all, it wasn't tragic. So he was sick for a long time.
Okay.
So I was fortunate to get his blessing to say, you're young, you're beautiful. I want you to move on. I want you to be happy. Okay. So then that put a lot of pressure on me to make sure that I found someone that was going to fit into that mix. I have a 14-year-old son, to make sure that they kind of came into alignment, right? But I would say to anyone else, like, you have to take care of you first, you know?
I like that. I like for a lot of people, it's not unfortunate to have the other person tell them, listen, you know, go out here. Because a lot of times in those situations, it's tragic.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends that went through stuff like that and they still haven't healed years later because they didn't get any closure.
And then it's crazy, but it's like, I'm so in depth with my relationships. I'd be wanting to have difficult conversations.
Yeah, the hard conversations.
Yeah, like, oh my God, babe, if something happens, like, how would you feel?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and to get that from them from before, you know, because obviously if you're in it for death do you part, one of us got to go first. We're not going at the same time. No, for real.
That's true.
And if you're at a young age, you know, you have to get back in the dating world, so you don't want to have that on your chest, like.
I applaud at a young age to have that conversation.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't having that. I was talking about, what's your favorite?
Oh, God. See, I'm big on the hard conversation. I'm big on that.
And that's what I said earlier. Like, when you have a casual situation, this casual sex, the woman usually catches.
Loves the casual. In this whole conversation, what does dating mean?
Like,
when you call someone and you say, I'm dating, what does that mean?
We're having different level conversations now. We're talking about how you gonna raise my kids? Where you want to live?
Oh, raise my kids?
Yes.
Damn,
Yes.
that's marriage.
That's but still, if you're dating, that's what you're dating for. Are you not?
I don't know.
That's always say men. That's always say men and women date differently.
Yeah.
Men date. We don't dig that deep.
Okay, but it goes back to how long, because I'm not gonna be doing this play thing with you, shacking up for a year, 2 years, and we've been living life for real, doing stuff, and we haven't put a title on it. It's different when I first time dating somebody. This is within a 6-month period of time, because that's like the minute stage.
That's it. See, that's
No, 6 months to it. 6 months.
Hey, listen.
First of all, hold on, wait a minute. Let me get this out. I'm not going to, at the grown age that I'm at now, I'm not going to meet someone and we are, after 2 months, we've been kicking it. It's been a vibe. It's been, what are we doing? Because I can go and date somebody else. Right now, if you're not
dating other people during that time,
probably not, because obviously, if I'm connected with him, I want to get to know who I'm dealing with. Now, we're having those conversations during the dating process.
Yes,
it wouldn't make no sense if after 3 months we've been going out. Yeah, whatever. Maybe there's sex involved, maybe there isn't. If we're doing all of that in a 3-month aspect, you should know what you want by now, because. No,
I want to hear what he has.
You have to know what you want, because at this point, I have to know where my life is going. I tell people all the time, I analyze my life monthly. Like, what is really going on? For real, like, what's really going on? Am I wasting my time? Because people will waste your time and allow it.
You're not wrong, but go ahead.
Go ahead. What do you
I remember I told a woman this: you can't expedite me because of your bad decisions.
Exactly.
Right? I can't fit into that template. Right? Because of what you have set for what you expect the time period should be. We're getting to know each other. That's what dating is.
Right.
So if it takes,
makes it hard.
But see, when you put a time period on it, that's when things could go wrong, right? Because somebody can make you see something for a time period that's not who they really are. When men are dating you, they're dating you to get to know you, right? So I remember somebody asked my pastor this. He said, she said to him, how long does it take to get to know somebody? He said, it can take 4 weeks. It can take 4 years. He said, you don't know somebody until you go through something with them. They can tell you they know how to change a tire, but it's not until you get a flat that you realize it. So sometimes you could be like, okay, we good. Wait a minute. When you did that, it paused me for a minute. It made me have to now reevaluate where we're going with this. So what was going in there now may have to stop us. Doesn't mean we're not still going on the same road, but we're not going 65 miles an hour.
Right.
We may be going 45.
Go. Hold on, wait. Let me piggyback off of what he said. What you got to understand is 2 months or 3 months don't define who a person is. You're meeting the representative interview.
The representative.
You're meeting the representative at that point. You don't go through anything yet. You haven't been through that.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. The first 3 months, I'm gonna show you who you want to see. Exactly who you want.
Shave, cologne.
Well, how you know who I want to see?
But it's easy for me to tell because
we having conversation.
Exactly. On the conversation we're gonna have, I don't know exactly what you like. Because you're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me.
But like you said, and I'm not saying like no mediocre 3 months. Like I'm gonna see you once a week, and it's just no. If we kicking it 5 to 6 days out,
no, not 5 to 6 days out
for 3 to 6 months.
Who got much time though?
But people got time. People make time for who they want. But my thing is,
wait, stop. Say that one more time.
People make time for who they want. Now,
as a business owner, you got to be careful how you say it.
Wait, no, why?
Oh,
but tell us.
I'm just saying, you got to be very careful how you say it.
What?
People make time for who they want.
What you say?
As a business owner, you got to be careful how you should talk about time. Because which one is more important? I'm just going to meet you, right? And you're a beautiful woman. I want to take you out and take you places.
Yes.
But also my business got to be good. I own 4 businesses. Oh. I can't just up and leave my business because I met this woman. I can't do that.
And time doesn't tell you who somebody is.
Not at all.
It's experience.
But that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that. That's what I'm saying. If you're with someone consistently, right? Life is going to life. It's going to life.
Is what?
It's going to
life is going to life. It's life, and right? So, for instance, let's talk about my situation. The person that I've been dating for a few months now, I done got into a car accident. He lost his job, got his job back. A lot of stuff happened to where we had to be there for each other for real.
Yeah.
Now, if a year comes up, I shouldn't still be in the clouds like, I wonder if I want to be with this man eventually.
Yeah.
Like, does that make any sense? Because if you think about it, that's what I'm saying, it has to be a consistency. Not just we kicking it after once a month or every two. It has to be super consistent to where he knows my daily schedule. Like, we know each other's daily schedule. Now, I don't get that with everyone. Mm-hmm. So I will never say, oh yeah, me and this guy have been talking for 3 months. It's mediocre. It's a light level. But if you have dug deep with that person and life has been lifing with both of you and both of y'all realize that y'all have had each other's back for this 3-6 months or 4 to 6 months, you should have at least an idea to say, I think I want to take this to the next level.
I think you feel like 4 to 6 months is a long time.
Listen, let me tell you something.
It depends on people's lives.
But let me tell you something. I was with my ex, right? And I came in there like, I want my wife, right? Mm-hmm. And I saw somebody in the gym and I was like, ooh, that's her, right? So we came into it like this and everything was good. And she told me everything I wanted to hear because we're having a conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like math. You knew the answer. Now show me your work.
Right.
Right. So now I had to see, because everything she said, I needed to see application.
And I agree with that.
That took 2 years for me to come. The first time, no, because now I'm giving her opportunity.
Right.
Right. Because now I'm sitting there. No, after a year, I'm like, oh, things are starting to unravel. Right. Now I'm getting to see who you really are right now, right? Because that first year,
everything
we got fresh.
Yeah.
How much time was y'all spending with each other?
We spent a lot of time with each other, right? Because sometimes people will show you who they want to be, and they will play that out.
Stop. Hold on. You could be married for 25 years, still never know.
Yeah, I get that.
So I understand that.
Wait, I get that, but listen, as a person like me, right, I have to be 4 different personalities. I have to be the person who I am when I'm at parties. I can't be that person in a business meeting. I can't be that person in family setting. I can't even be that person here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I bring you as my date somewhere and you don't know how to act, I cannot bring you nowhere else.
Yeah,
if I bring you in a party and you're acting a fool, you cannot come nowhere with me. Party gonna be done right there. Yeah, that's my point. So sometimes you don't see that right away. You don't see that.
Takes a while.
All right, hold on. Let's ask this question real quick. Now, say everything's going well. You guys been dating, life's been lifing. 3 to 6 months is in there, right? Y'all done been through some stuff together and y'all still holding strong. Would you be jealous if she says, oh, I'm going to go out with this guy, or this guy asked me to go out, so I'm going to go out with him? You know, would that make you like?
First of all, you just said 3 to 6 months we're going through stuff together. Are you crazy? 3 to 6 months, I'm not going through anything with anyone.
Yeah. If her car breaks down, or something, right? You can go help her. No, but I'm saying it's something where you can be there for her.
Okay.
If you fall into a space where you may not,
life is happening,
but life is happening financially, and she's there to pick you up financially, spiritually. She's there, she's doing that, and she did that for you, and she's still solid.
That doesn't mean she's a good person,
right? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you knowing who you're dealing with, for you to say, all right, let me take it to the next level. I'm not saying you to marry her. I'm just saying, let's just see where this is going.
I'm still going back to the same point.
But what I'm saying is, you've been dealing with her for these months,
right?
And she comes and say, this guy asked me. I think I'm gonna see what's going on with him. You're not gonna feel some type of way, like, damn, like I thought.
I tell her to go. You ain't coming back.
I ain't coming back.
See, but that's harsh. Why
is that?
But just because you do things for me, like help me with this and help me with that, I get that part, right? That's life. But there's another aspect. I need to know that I can build a future with you. Yeah. You're a person.
But you're having those conversations.
But see, men look at it differently, right? So men are looking at it like women are looking at it immediately when you come into it, right? Like you're having these questions like immediately. Men don't have these questions immediately, right? We vet you differently than that, right?
Really?
Like,
how do you vet
like he said, that's why. Like,
I want to know.
So if you
break it down.
So, so we are looking at things differently, right? We're looking at attraction, right? We need to know there's attraction, right? Mm-hmm. If there's sex involved, because when you ask the...
Wait, stop. But we're just dating. How am I having sex
Yeah, but we're seeing all of that.
Yeah, we're simply... You're not having sex. We're having sex.
What you gotta understand is we're very simple creatures. Like we are very complex.
Yeah.
We're looking at it straightforward. Like he said, you're seeing the city, we're seeing the street that we're on right now.
I had a friend. Let me piggyback off what he said. A friend of mine's he was at my forum, and this is his saying. He said, men and women think like they're reproduction. He said, men think straight up, and women think in circles.
I'm gonna use that one.
Right. It's all simple for us, right? So we're looking at sex because if you ask men the 5 love languages, right? Physical touch is usually
That's first one.
up there for us. So sex and women is usually quality time, gifts, acts of services.
So we don't want physical touch.
No. Remember, it's in the order. It's not in the order. It doesn't mean it's not there. It's just not in that order.
Beautiful stuff like
The acts of service. That's important for
Okay,
us.
so what do you say about the men? Because mind you, I talk to a lot of people. There's a lot of people, and there's been men that says I knew I was gonna marry my wife within 2-3 months of knowing her.
That
You
can
know,
happen.
so that's what I'm saying. If I met a man that's that intentional, and I know that he said this stuff to me, like he knows what he wants, like he's been out there, and you know the guy that I'm dating, he's older, so he knows what he wants. So, and I've been with the guys that don't know what they want, and they're not ready. But I'm saying when you do find somebody and it aligns, you got to know what you're doing.
All right, let me give you an example. You ever hear the story about girls letting men wait a while to have sex with them and thinking that it's gonna let them go away? No, if we want that, we're gonna sit down and wait. Okay, 3 months, of course, I'm gonna be the best.
While we're sleeping with somebody else.
Yeah.
I want to know what my issue is with that. Is that you're gonna, and I told you this, is that you're gonna always meet the representative.
Yes, that's what I'm telling her.
So for 2 or 3 months, you're never gonna meet the real person because they're gonna always work on what do I need to do.
That is why lines up. That is the point I'm making.
So you have to be authentic. Say if it works out and everything is.
That what we're saying is give it time, because back in the day it took a while. Now everything is just so expedited.
Back in the day, it took a while. No, they were getting married fast. They were getting.
Not where I'm from.
My grandpa that lived in Jamaica that passed away in 2018 married my grandmother within a year.
We're probably grew up together because we're in the same community. It's not like we're going to the same center.
My grandfather had 2 kids.
What were you
about to say?
No, I'm saying. Well, I grew up in Jamaica in a small community. A lot of times, if I'm dating you or having kids with you, we went to school together.
Yeah, everybody, the family knows each other.
What did you just say? You're not going to go on Instagram and what? And find someone.
No. Back in the day, it's like you can't just go on Instagram and find someone miles away to be with. You get what I'm saying? That's somebody you're going to have something in common with.
Yeah.
See, it's the person you see.
I think the problem why relationships are breaking up so much is that people are getting with people without getting to know them.
Right.
So you have to get to know somebody.
Give it time.
Date them.
Yeah.
People are not dating each other. They're getting with somebody, and then a year later, and you see this all the time, you be like, they broke up? You did not really get to know who this person is. You saw, you liked, and you conquered.
Right.
I disagree. I disagree.
Talk to
I
me.
think the issue is that the person is not dealing with themselves. So once you deal with yourself and you understand what you want, what you desire, what makes you feel good, then when you go out into the dating world, then you can
see it. The era that we're in now, like we were talking about, everything is expedited.
Yeah.
Everything.
Microwaves.
Their attention spans are so
Microwave.
that a lot of people see this beautiful thing online, these relationships, and you want it. A lot of people see it. You're getting to this quick so fast. It's just like trying to get money.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get to the bag so fast. Nobody wants to put in the work.
Yeah.
It takes 10 years to make $1 million. And nobody wants to put in that 10 years. The same thing with relationships. Sometimes it takes a while sometimes.
I get all of that. My thing is,
but sometimes there's certain conversations that we're having financial conversations. Like financial conversations are what breaks up a lot of marriages and relationships a lot now, because those conversations were not had in the beginning. Now you get married and you're thinking about life insurance. You're thinking about how these kids, their college funds are gonna go. You never talked about none of that until you got married.
though, because when you're dating, it should be euphoric. It should be that it's just you and I, and we build and we grow together.
But your intentions are very important. Your intentions are very important.
I'm not thinking about child life.
That's the problem.
No, it's not the problem. Because if I don't have a child yet, then why am I having
But see, you're talking from a unicorn perspective.
Yeah.
People
Did you call me unicorn?
there's a lot of people. There's not a lot of people that think that way. If
Yeah.
you thought that way, you what you just said is 100% right. But exactly what he's saying is that people, like you said, get to know yourself, so that when you present yourself to someone, you're presenting organically who I am, right? So people are presenting a representative, right? People are presenting a perspective, a perception of what they think people want. And then once they find out, and then everything comes, now your mask come off, right? So now you get to see this person for who it is, and now we in a different conversation, because now I got to get to know the new you.
But that and I get what I agree with that. That mask though, right? How there should be a way, because this year was my year of like for real dating. Really being out there and seeing what's going on.
Love it.
And I dated guys where I was just like, yeah, this not gonna work for real. Like it's you're not the one.
Let me tell you something.
But hold on. So, but when you meet someone, and like I said, there's a strong alignment to where that mask had no choice but to come off, because life started to really to push.
Yeah.
And you now have been through you're going through these things, and you're still at this high with this person, but you've seen them break down in tears. You've seen them, think that they're not going to be able to whatever is going on. Like life has life, and you've seen how they've acted in certain situations. You've had the hard conversation, and you've seen that they were able to handle that. That's what I'm saying. If you've been going through that consistently with someone, I think man or woman, you should know, because to me, it's one of those things where it's like, not just that I'm trying to rush time, but if you know, I've heard people say that so much, like, I got with this person, I just knew, like, I knew.
See, all right.
And they've already was in the date.
But wait, can I tell you something? I was married for 16. I was together with my husband for 16 years, and I thought I knew him. You think you know?
No. It's not about knowing for real. It's about the things
that you learn, because people evolve. I agree. I never know.
What we're talking about is this.
Just going to the next level.
What we're talking about is this, right? I could pretend for as long as I want until I'm comfortable. Do you understand that? If it's a year and I'm on edge with you and we're dating and I'm not comfortable, like to be myself with you, I'm a pretender as long as I want.
Wait, stop. You're gonna what? Wait, stop. You're gonna what?
Yeah, pretend. A lot of people do that.
Why?
Because we're not comfortable yet. I want you.
Why? The person.
Because I want the person.
I was about to say, I get what you
You're
want.
not being your true self.
But that's what I'm saying. That so many people come in a situation, you're not being yourself until
What does
you're
pretending
comfortable.
look?
Yeah, what is that?
Showing you who you want to see.
Yeah.
No, that's not showing me who I want to see. Wait, I know. Wait, no, I really don't know.
That's recorded.
I know. You're pretending to be someone else to stay.
No, I'm not saying I'm doing that. I'm saying, well, hold on.
I've met that.
People have to be
I'm trying to say to you.
No,
I've
met that a lot.
I've had it. I'm trying to tell you.
met that a lot.
Come, and as soon as they get comfortable, you see the real person. Now they start popping up at your house and standing outside like, hey, I'm like, you know why? Because people are not having a conversation. So unless you start to unpack certain things, because you got to ask the right questions, right? So if you're not having the right question.
Just like everyone, my life is jam-packed. I'm always on the move, but self-care is top priority for me. That's why I'm a part of the Texture Club at my favorite salon. My easy monthly subscription to the Texture Club solves everything.
And asking the right questions, you won't really know who and what somebody really is, right? Because somebody be like, well, you didn't ask me if I shot somebody. I didn't do that. You didn't ask. I didn't have bodies.
For me, it's different because I'm a podcaster. I'm used to, and I'm a hairstylist. And anybody can start anybody, but I know how to have these difficult conversations. I know.
Wait, hold on. Can you describe why you said you're a hairstylist? Why was that?
Because the people that sit in my chair, I've had conversations with them, and I've learned how to listen, have a conversation, have the hard conversation, and not judge, and not this, and not that. So if I meet a man and first of all, the man that I'm dating, he asks me all the questions. He needs to know everything. I'm not used to that.
So what you gotta understand is you could ask me whatever I want. I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Facts.
What do you mean? How do you know what I want to hear if you don't know me? How you know what
It's not that difficult.
So, okay, wait. So here's the issue. It's how you ask. The issue is, the issue is asking questions. So when you ask questions, if you were to interview me, if I was to go on a job interview, I'm going to give you what you want to hear.
Right.
You understand that, what she's saying.
I get that, but I've done the work on myself.
Well, you're saying, how do you know what you want to hear? If I go in a job interview, I'm going to tell you that I'm the best worker. I'm going to my time. I'm going to make sure I dress properly.
But doesn't mean I'm going to give you the job.
But no, go back to what he said.
But doesn't mean I'm going to give you the job.
I'll get it. 90% of the time,
but men do that all the time. That's what I'm saying. I was in the pool. I was in the dating pool. And men telling me what they wanted to hear.
But guess what I'm saying? You're going to give him the job, but then you have to see whether or not
if he qualifies to it. If for real,
but
for real.
that's 5 points.
Yeah. But some people don't even get past it.
Oh my God.
But you don't really know, even the person that gets past the interview, you still need to see their application, right? You still need to know that this person is, because anybody can tell you anything.
So hold on. So what happens to authenticity? So authenticity.
That's not a thing anymore?
I know.
No, it really is.
You're going to understand. You're not getting that from everybody.
Let me
I know that. So
Unfortunately.
I was in the pool.
Hold on. Authenticity means that you're not showing up for any objective, right? You're not showing up for any outcome. You're showing up as yourself. And if you receive me as yourself, then okay, let's talk. We don't do that anymore. It's always an objective.
I dated someone for 3 months in the beginning of the year, right? Valentine's came around, man, this man went all out. Cooked flowers, everything.
I know, I saw the pictures.
Right? He went all out Valentine's, right? Like, I was like, are we married? Are we married? Like, I didn't ask him that, but I was so surprised, but there was still something that wasn't clicking for us.
Yeah.
And I had to say, I'm not happy in this space. Yeah. Good riddance to him. We're still, he's still a good guy, but I knew that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But sometimes we know what's not for us. And I've done the work on myself to know that
right there,
something is off.
Yeah.
right there. See, you said it. You said it.
Done the work for
You just said it.
Yeah.
You done the right. We said there's so many women
that don't do the work.
No, but men and women. No, men and women. I'm not just saying, right? Because see the roses that you just did?
Yeah.
There will be another woman that would be like, I'm marrying this dude, whatever he needs.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you like.
But right. But that's surface level. I'm not a surface level.
Because you didn't work on yourself. You didn't work on yourself.
You can be the perfect first one.
Look, he wants to get in the comments. What I'm saying is to any other woman that would have been like, oh yes, we're together for real. But I knew that it wasn't for me.
What? I want to hear what?
Listen, you are seeing it from just your lens. All right. I'm trying to get you to understand that in most situations,
That's the exception, not the rule.
exactly. In most situations, I'll come into this date and I'm the perfect guy for you for 3-4 months. I'm doing every single thing. I'm opening the door. I'm taking you to the nice restaurant. I'm doing all this.
Because that's surface level. I'm not worried about that. Hold on. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something.
Where was the next
It's
question?
so basic though.
But
We're gonna go to the next
let me tell you something. When
Next
I was that dude, I would do. Let me tell you something. Because women talk. You guys talk. You tell us what you want. I'm telling you. You tell us right from the door what you
If you
want.
want the stories, a lot of times you don't.
So I would just listen. And the minute, just when I was that guy, not this guy. When I was that guy, I would be like, oh yeah. Everything
Know how to
he
track.
said, I'm said just a matter of time. Exactly what he said. And then smash. And then what was it? What was it? Block? What was it?
Block and delete.
Block and delete.
There you go.
But what I'm saying is, yes, that's why I brought up the stress, but that's why I brought up the Valentine's Day thing, because that was something that on a surface level, yeah, you open a new thing to do at a nice restaurant, you tell me what I want to hear, you but in a deeper form, there wasn't a connection. So what I'm saying is, when you've passed those surface level with somebody after 4 to 6 months or however long, there is nothing in your brain that says, okay. And if you were intentional, you're dating intentionally to actually have a person, right? To actually be with someone. If you're intentional, after those times have passed, there should be something in your brain that says, I know for me, it's for most women, it's something in your brain like, okay, so either I'm gonna cut this man off, it's a waste of time, it's not really working out. It's like even when you're at a job, I work this job for 6 months, it ain't working for me. I need a better pay. I need to be around better people. That's how I look at it.
So there's a time limit?
It's not a time limit, but after a while, you're gonna know when there's a detachment and it's not going anywhere. There's no elevation.
All right, so let's go on to the next thing.
Yeah, because we run out of time.
So you guys are in like your 40s, right?
No. He's in his 40s.
She's in her 30s.
Right. So
That's the
what's
lady's
the
time.
difference? Like I'm in my 30s. So what's the difference like dating when you get to a certain age? Because it's different for us, maybe different in your 20s, and when you're teenage, different when you're 30s. How different it is when you get to that.
So when you're in your 40s, you've had life experiences. So you've lived life, and hopefully you've gotten to a point where you understand what you want, what you need, what's going to give you an opportunity to thrive in wherever you are in your career or in your personal life, right?
Yes, 100%.
So
100%.
you understand that.
100%. I don't, age doesn't give you maturity, right? Experience does, and application, right? Because I know some real stupid people with education, right? But it's application, you know? So when you get to a certain point in your life, she mentioned that you know what you love yourself, you know what you want, you know what you, and then now when you're sitting across from that person, we're having a dialogue to say, listen, this is what I need. And that person's telling you what they need. And now we're like, we click, like you're click.
Is it harder though? Is it harder at that age to find somebody?
I think things open up for you though.
No, I don't think it's harder. Because I think that you look for someone that's going to add to your life. And if you created a life for yourself. So it's not a necessity.
The reason why I said that is, you know, a lot of times people like your age will either be already married.
Did you say your age?
My age. He said my age, not yours. No, my age. My age. No.
Yeah. People that are in their 40s or so will already be married in their careers, you know, have their own stuff, you know, like most times you can't go on and just meet somebody in that age that don't already be on that level. You know what I'm saying? Like for us, we meet a lot of single people that's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
When you get in the 40s,
They're still trying to figure it out. Because they're in marriages that are not real. They're in marriages where they're not communicating. They're not happy. And they're just in it just because it's easier for the kids. And
they got history.
And they have history. And they're not really
They don't want to be
feeling
alone.
themselves. You know? And so that's a problem.
So do you think it's a case where they fall out of love?
Absolutely.
That can happen.
But do you still keep that? Because what I've learned is marriage is not just about love.
Not at all.
No. So even me in the age that I am, which I will tell.
You said that. Just said at the beginning.
So like in thinking about, will I get married again? And so the whole thing is like there's a strong compromise. You lose yourself. Because you become part of that person.
Right.
You're no longer just you thinking about you. You're thinking about you with that other person. And that's a big deal. So you have to kind of really think about what is required for you to be a wife, for you to be a partner, for you to be part of someone else. It's a big decision. And a lot of people in their 20s and 30s don't realize that until later, and they lose themselves. So me being a widow, I understood that I gave a lot of myself to my marriage. And so now that I'm single, I'm like, wow, I'm a badass bitch.
The reason why I asked that is because a lot of times, like, the love is not there, but you got to keep that camaraderie, you know, together. You got to keep a team together because now it's a team. You know, sometimes the team is going to beef sometimes. You all love, but you still got to make sure that these things are getting done. The kids are good. Everything's good until it comes back together.
So what I always say, you have to have I had a healthy marriage, not a perfect marriage, right? We talked about that. I came up that with you. But a healthy marriage means that we had to do what we needed to do to grow and to kind of go through those growing pains. We had our issues. We had our arguments. But it wasn't perfect.
And because it was built on a strong foundation.
It was built on a strong foundation.
And something you said, I meet a lot of women that are in situationships.
Ooh, you didn't say the word to that word.
Situationship. Facts.
Entanglement.
Like literally, like.
But it's not that though.
They're in marriage and they have a partner that they're living with, and they are seeking to get out and date while they're still living because they're not fulfilled. And I'm, the old Calvin. A couple weeks ago. The old Calvin.
Oh, I know.
Before I was reborn. Would have taken that. But I meet a lot of women that are literally in that now. And they're like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until I find somebody that's going to take me out of this.
And
put
see,
me
I
in
have
this.
an issue with
I
that.
know somebody like that
I
person.
know a
I
lot
have
of
an
them.
issue with that. They're not leaving until they find someone else, but they could leave and find themselves.
Facts.
So what I said, and I remember I called my girlfriend, I was like, I fell in love. She's like, oh my God, what the hell are you falling in love with?
I love it.
So when I fell in love with myself, and I say this, I should trademark it. But when you listen to love songs, sing them to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to Luther
like that.
Vandross
I like that.
and all that. Sing them to yourself, because that's where you should live first. It's for yourself. And then you move on to someone who can add to your life, not someone who can replace.
Right.
I'm not looking for anyone to replace my husband. I'm looking for someone who can add to what I'm already loving in myself. And I think in dating, I don't know if you understand that.
I love that.
If you
No,
see that.
I totally.
But like women are not loving themselves. They're looking for someone to replace what they're not loving in themselves.
So you got that work.
So the one of the topics I want to touch on before we get out of here is there's so many women that have this list, right?
Oh shit, not the list.
You have a list of things that a man has to meet, and one of those lists is the places that you're gonna take them on the first date or we were on a date. Y'all heard about that list?
I heard about it.
That you have to take off this list of places you can take this woman to. You know, what do y'all think about that?
Oh, I'm going to tell you what I think about that, because I feel strongly about that. I have a 14-year-old son, and I have an issue with where he's coming up in the world. If you don't know a woman, I don't expect you to take her to Seasons 52 or with Chris's and spend $100, $200. You take her to fucking coffee.
Yeah, go ahead.
You take her for coffee, and you determine if that's someone that you want to spend 1, 2, 3 hours with.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's not about I think we got lost in thinking about the monetary value of things.
Yes.
Instead of thinking about your time. My time is of money. And so I think about my son, and I'm like, if I want to go out and spend time, then I want to make sure someone I want to get to know. So you go to coffee first. You spend 30 minutes at Starbucks. It's $6 per coffee. And then you decide if you want to then go to the next level. I love Cheesecake Factory. Me too. Cheesecake Factory is easy $150 bill right here.
Facts,
I don't know where that fucking
Depending on how much drinks you have too.
Now, I haven't been to Applebee's and Chili's in a long time. So I get that.
Me too.
But, I don't expect someone who doesn't know me to drop $300, $400.
Listen, even if you're just saying, let's go have a walk in the park.
I'm like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm a believer that don't ask me to do anything for you that you wouldn't do for yourself, right? You have to be what you're looking for, right? So when you are looking for this, it better be a mirror. You need to be able, so you don't have to
wait a minute though.
So you don't have to look for it. Exactly, but that's okay. So now when you meet a man, he can match that, right? It's because you know what your value is.
Yes.
You know what you want.
But I don't
What you
expect you to
require.
do that on the first
But
date,
that's
though.
okay. No, it doesn't. But that's okay. But at least he knows what he's dealing with, right? Don't go to the job asking for $100,000, but you only got a $50,000 education, right? And asking them for things that he cannot.
My potential is $300,000.
But now they're gonna ask you to show me your referral, right?
Yeah.
I think what's happening is that we're falling in love with people's potential without checking their credentials.
Yes.
Right? You have to be able to have that, right? Because now it's like, okay, cool. That's what you want. What do you bring? Because the job is going to ask me that now. Like, okay, this is what you want. Let me see your referrals. Let me see what you have.
Yeah.
Before we pay you that.
Me and 88 was having this conversation earlier. We were talking about it, and I said to him, I was like, a woman that appreciates everything will get anything. Because I'm gonna come into a relationship and I say, okay, like Shan said, let's go walk in the park, and she's overjoyed about just a walk in the park,
coffee and conversation.
Exactly. And she appreciates that so much that I'm like, yo, I'll give her anything.
Or the second time, not the third time.
It doesn't even matter to her, because as long as she's spending quality time, like we talked about, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So a person that comes in and expects so much of a person, like, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, this is what men is supposed to do. It's not one size fits all. Like,
she's trying not to. She don't want to get to know you.
That's the issue with that social media. Yes, that's the issue with social media and the influencers, and saying that, oh, he should be buying you this dinner, you should be waiting by the.
Listen, somebody post some lamb chops. It's over. Take me somewhere I got lamb chops.
Funny.
But you know what I say? The men deserve to be spoiled just as much as the women.
Oh yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah, please say that.
Look
at the camera. Look at
I
the camera. Look at the camera when you say that. There we go.
Everything out there is about the woman, but the men
There we go.
deserve to be spoiled just as much
I agree.
as the woman, even more so.
Woo, say that again, girl. Amen.
The black men out there
thank you
is
so
going
much.
through hella.
Let the congregation.
I'm just right. Hold my hand.
No,
I'm just saying. Like, wouldn't it be nice if a woman said, "I want to take you to dinner"?
Traded
Hey, let's,
places.
all right, so
If women understood that,
Yeah.
if they like, if I was really feeling you, hey, bro, I want to take you out.
careful now.
My Eddie is right there.
I want to say that.
All right. So, all right. My next question, right? I'm gonna finish it off with this because we're trying to run low on time, because I didn't know who was gonna go.
Yeah, it's good.
But parenting, right? You're a parent, and I feel like the breakdown of the Black household is causing a lot of problems for us in our society.
Yeah.
So, what do you think we could change at this point to fix a lot of that? Because I feel like me and 88 was talking about it again. Consequences and learning repercussions. We used to get ass whoopings.
Yeah.
Knowing that if you do this thing wrong, if you do the wrong thing, you're gonna have a consequence.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a lot of women and men are having kids so young, they haven't fully developed yet. They haven't fully went into adulthood as yet to learn how to teach this child how they're supposed to be, because they don't know how they're supposed to be, because they're not in their adult role yet. So the breakdown in the whole soul is starting from all of these things, even with discipline. We learn discipline growing up, knowing that you're supposed to show up on time, or there's going to be consequences.
Yeah.
The discipline of knowing that whatever you say you're going to do, you follow through with it, because that is a form of discipline. All these come from the ass whoopings we got growing up, and understanding that these consequences are going to hold you accountable for whatever it is that you do. So what do you guys think about something like that?
So I feel like what's happening right now is access to resources, right? And understanding how we grew up is you are to be seen and not heard.
Right.
And that's not fair to the child. But access to resources, Instagram, reading books, things like that helps you to understand that a child is a human being.
Right.
And they deserve respect just as much as you do. But also getting with yourself and finding out what your childhood traumas are and triggers are. So I have a 14-year-old son who's 6'1.5", 156 pounds, and a grown-ass man. But at the same time, I want to give him a safe space to be able to, express himself, because he has a lot to learn, a lot he's dealing with in high school, with coaches and teachers and friends, and being a Black man in society. So I want him to be able to come home to a safe space.
So let me ask you a question, right? Do you think it can't be a case where you can coddle a child too much, where you're not allowing them to go out there and make the mistakes that they should, or even if they make the mistakes, you're the one who steps in to deal with that instead of letting them deal with that themselves? Because a lot of times coddling can make a child feel spoiled, like I don't have to deal with this because mommy's gonna help me deal with this, or daddy's gonna help me deal with this. So a lot of times, do you feel like a coddling it could water down the experience of the growing up of a child?
I love that question because coddling can be misconstrued. You should offer care, comfort, support to your children. You should also give them the space to develop. So what I've done with my son is that I don't offer advice. and let him kind of filter through that, but let him know I'm still there for him when he wants that additional support. It happened today at basketball practice because he didn't go to school today, whatever the situation may be, because he might be watching. But and I wanted to offer support rather than lecture him because that doesn't work.
Right.
But you have to let them fall and fail because they learn that way.
Right.
And let him know that he can come to mommy when he's ready.
Okay. So Calvin, what about you? When if you decide you still want kids?
Yeah, I'm Jamaican. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
Why did you have to preface that?
Because I'm about to say, my mom
I didn't know that. I didn't know, to be honest.
Yeah. So you know the whippet.
Yeah. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah, switch everything, right? But the thing about that is, even though my moms would beat me, and beat me, she would also teach me, right? She would sit back, and when I was done crying,
Is it a similar situation? You will not surprise
now you better stop crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry for, right? But she would always come back and tell me what I did wrong, right? And talk to me about it, right? So it wasn't like I didn't feel like she was only beating me, she was teaching me, right? And she would let me know that, and when you're young, it's hard to know that I'm doing it for you. And I remember a couple of years ago, I said to my mother, thank you for telling me no, right? Because you know
you were traumatized though.
Yeah, I'm so
We don't talk about this in the Black community. Yeah, being beaten is trauma. Think about it. If you went out on the street and beat someone because they did something wrong to you, you will go to jail. It's true.
It's the dumplings.
Okay, then I'll give a second. Never mind.
I'm gonna tell you
Never
why.
mind.
I'm gonna tell you why I said that. Like you said, that taught us responsibility. That taught us consequences to our actions. That taught us to not go out there and just do
fear.
not all of that for me. Not for me.
Hold on.
Not for me.
It taught me respect, a respectful fear,
Fear.
a respectful fear,
No.
right? So there's a thin line between that, right? Like I didn't fear my mother, right?
Because you thought you were going to get your ass.
When I was wrong.
You're right. What you didn't wrong. When you need it's a consequence.
But let me tell you something. So my friends that lived on the other block didn't have fear. And those were the ones that ended up in jail. Right? Those were the ones that didn't hear the no's. And at that time, I was like, Mom, you're so mean. You're so wrong.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
But that's why I came back to her and I said, thank you for telling me that, right? Because she said, you may not understand now,
Yeah.
but you'll understand as you get older.
Yeah.
So now that I'm older, it taught me discipline,
Right.
which I didn't understand what that was then because, when you're a child,
Yeah.
discipline.
Yeah.
Let me do what I want to do. So at that time, it may have felt like fair to me, right? If I didn't wash the dishes. Because I didn't do the things that I was supposed to do. So if I would have washed the dishes or took out the garbage or did the things,
Right.
then it was like,
And that builds character.
yo,
All of that stuff, the chores that you do.
especially for boys.
That's a whole other segment.
Yeah,
Especially for boys.
No, we're getting to that now, and that's how it affects a lot of relationships where a lot of people go into relationships expecting so much of people because they didn't get that from mom, you didn't get that from dad. You get what I'm saying? Like, you go into a relationship now, you get pregnant, you have a child, now you're by yourself. This child is being raised without a male figure or a female figure in their lives.
Yeah.
So now the consequences that you will face to do certain things, you're not facing that because mommy's cuddling you so much because mommy don't know how to do tough love. But,
No, it's true. So in my situation, his father's no longer here. And so I'm not having to be, I don't try to play father. His father was in his life for 14 years. He led the foundation. How many of us didn't have a father in our life for 14 years? You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that I had those years and I'm just mommy. And I hope and pray that whatever he put in for those 14 years was that, but I don't try to be dad.
Exactly, but a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And that spills over into their relationship.
It does.
A lot.
It does.
I've seen it so much. Even guys that don't know how to take rejection, we had to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We had to. Because we grew up with mommy and daddy and we see where we want something, they're gonna tell you no.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're not spoiled. And one thing I hate is a spoiled person.
Yeah.
What is it? How do you define a spoiled person?
A person that feels obligated.
Entitled.
Entitled. That's the word.
Yeah.
Because entitled, I do not like.
Yeah. And
As a child or as an adult?
Doesn't matter.
both.
Doesn't matter.
And piggybacking off of what you said, I didn't meet my dad until I turned 40 years old, right? And it wasn't until I met him, and I had to go to Jamaica to go meet him, right? And when I went to go there the first time, he didn't show up. right? So I had to go back the second time. But it wasn't until I met him that I understood what I was supposed to do as a man and the things I needed to do. So I needed that. Thank God I had people in my life that helped guide me and navigate me through certain things. But it wasn't until then that things started to click. I didn't have that discipline. I didn't have that. So I needed that. So I meet a lot of my friends that don't have their dad around and don't have that male figure. And it doesn't go well for them.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't go well for them.
The reason why I asked this question because I want us to do our part in trying to fix the Black household, because I feel like once we fix that, or our Black society will change a lot if we fix that, because that's where a lot of the problems start.
About the parenting,
Everything in the Black household, because a lot of the kids that's going out and doing things now. Remember, we couldn't leave the house after a certain time. You know,
Street lights.
Right. But once that's the money, you gotta be in the house. Now there's kids just wandering about doing what they feel like, and the parents, like I said, they're not developed enough to say, I know what to do and I'm gonna teach you what not to do.
Kids teaching kids.
Normalize that healthy household, because I had friends of other cultures and they were
Facts.
so it's just normalizing just
I think what you're all saying though, to bring it back into fold, is that it impacts how you date. How you grew up, how your parenting impacts how you date. And I was on my own since I was 16. So that impacts probably how I date and how I choose.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
But we went over time.
that was such a great conversation. This can go on forever and ever.
We can't even do final thought. We're do like these. Calvin and Danielle, I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative of you guys coming.
Love the
This was last minute too. I really appreciate it. We're gonna have you guys back for sure. Come back to have these conversations because they're very much needed.
Yeah.
To hear from especially mature people that has been
in their 30s.
Guys, this is the Student Life podcast where learning and unlearning has no limits. And please remember to like, share, hit the subscribe button, add a comment. We're on Instagram also. Leave a comment and just let us know what you think. You know what I mean? So we'll see you guys again next time for another episode of the Student Life podcast. We're out.
Bye.